Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
The Haven for Hope shelter, the scene of a shooting that sent 3 people to the hospital. What happened? And we have the latest on their conditions.
Mayor Ron Nierenberg says San Antonio is heading in the right direction and things are looking up in his State of the City address.
Well, after a couple of days of showers and clouds and cooler temperatures, we'll see how our Wednesday is shaping up. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, the 27th.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Hope you've had a good week so far. I know the rain was a relief. It was, and things started to dry out late yesterday. Let's see what's happening on our Wednesday. Justin Horn is in for Mike. Good morning.
Good morning. Still dry. We're not expecting any rain today, but the clouds will stick around for a while. So it's still going to be sort of, I don't want to say cool day, but less than average, cooler than average. We'll see temperatures in the 70s this afternoon. Here's what's ahead. Cloudy skies, as I mentioned, are mostly cloudy today. It will be warmer, though, than what we saw yesterday. We only got into the low 70s yesterday, which was nice. Heat and humidity make their way back in here by tomorrow and Friday, and it will also be windy. It will feel a lot more like April, especially as we get into the weekend. Now, one thing we will be watching Saturday is potential for a strong storm or two developing, and I think that's probably our one day that we're really going to have to watch. It's not going to be widespread rain, but a chance for some isolated strong storms. In the meantime, very comfortable this morning. 63 degrees in San Antonio, some 50s on the map from Kerrville up to Fredericksburg, 65 out in Del Rio. You're at 55 Bernie State, 63 Canyon Lake, and 63 in New Braunfels. Forecast for today, just some very small chances of rain. 61 degrees by 7 a.m. By, say, 11 a.m., 72, 73 noontime. Mostly cloudy during this time period, and then maybe a little bit more sun by the afternoon. Temperatures make their way up to about 79 degrees, and we start to see a southeasterly wind, which means, yes, more humidity is back in the forecast. We're going to talk all about the weekend. We'll get you set up there and look ahead even into next week with some more rain chances coming up here in just a few minutes. Guys.
All right, thank you, Justin. This latest this morning on shots fired at Haven for Hope. 3 people were shot, including 2 security guards.
All this unfolding just after 10 o'clock last night. Police say the security guards tried to calm the suspect down after he began beating on the doors of the shelter. They say the man refused to calm down, and that's when they tried to restrain him. During the process, the men began to struggle, and police say the suspect was able to get a hold of one of the guards' guns. It went off, striking one guard in the leg.
We are told the other security officer pulled his weapon out and shot the suspect 3 times. The struggle between the guards and the suspect continued, and somehow the other guard was also shot in the leg. Police say all 3 men were taken to the hospital and they are expected to be okay.
A man is under arrest after firing a gun inside of an apartment on the west side. SAPD responded to several calls from people at the apartment complex in the 7600 block of Highway 90. Police say the man was arguing with a woman when the man pointed the gun at her, according to police. They say he then pointed the gun at the floor and it went off. The woman was able to flee the apartment. When police arrived, the man refused to come out, but they were able to convince that person to surrender. No one was hurt. Charges are still pending.
A San Antonio man will be laid to rest this morning, nearly 2 months after he was hit and killed by a San Antonio police officer. The crash happened the night of March 5th near West Commerce and Northwest 39th Street. 64-year-old Feliciano Jimenez was hit around 8:30 that evening, and police told KSAT 12 that night the area was dark, however, could not see if that contributed to the crash. Jimenez's family says they asked the city to improve safety in that same area months before his death. Today, they will see the dash cam video from that crash.
I'll be going to the station to go see the tape, and maybe it'll give me closure, maybe, or it'll answer questions for me.
District 5 Councilwoman Terry Castillo's office confirmed Public Works completed a traffic study in that area. The spokesperson for Public Works declined to comment. We requested a copy of the traffic study, which includes a crash history of that area.
A majority of San Antonio police officers voted yesterday to ratify the new union contract. It means some changes are coming to the department. Changes include making it harder for fired officers to get their jobs back if they appeal. The contract would also boost officer pay by nearly 16% over 4 years. The deal would run through September of 2026, but before the contract goes into effect, City Council still needs to approve it. One local group wants to see additional reforms like changing oversight for the department. For more details, you can see them on KSAT.com.
Mayor Ron Nirenberg focused on recovering from the pandemic and highlighted the SA Ready to Work program during his State of the City address.
We are writing a bright new chapter in San Antonio's history. And if we do this right, SA Ready to Work will be a big win that enhances the economic prospects for our workforce and for employers.
The $200 million program launches next month. The goal is to get more than 15,000 San Antonians through certification and degree programs and into high-demand jobs.
In other morning headlines, we're learning more details about the treatment of Vice President Kamala Harris after she tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday.
The White House says Harris is asymptomatic, but her doctor has put her on a life-saving COVID drug that the Biden administration just announced it plans to make available to more Americans. ABC's Faith Abube is in Washington with the details.
This morning, Vice President Kamala Harris at home under a doctor's care, taking prescribed doses of the COVID antiviral treatment Paxlovid, the Pfizer drug that's set to reduce the risk of COVID hospitalization and death by 90%. Harris testing positive for the virus moments after she was captured in this video Tuesday. Arriving at the White House, you can see her taking off her mask as she gets out of a vehicle. ABC News has learned she did not participate in any in-person meetings. She was last seen with the president a week ago at the White House Easter egg roll. The vice president writing on Twitter, so far she has no symptoms and she's grateful to be both vaccinated and boosted.
We have a very, very contagious variant out there. The goal of our policies should be, obviously, minimize infections whenever possible, but to make sure people don't get seriously ill. The best ways of doing that are making sure people are vaccinated and boosted, as the vice president is, and making sure we have plenty of therapeutics.
The Biden administration is expanding access to that antiviral drug the vice president is now taking. Americans at high risk of COVID complications will be able to access Paxlovid at 40,000 pharmacies and clinics across the country, double the number that previously carried the therapeutic. Charles Bunting recently took the drug while desperately sick with the virus.
I was like, wasn't I dying 3 hours ago?
New COVID infections are creeping up across 35 states and territories. And now a new CDC study has found a majority of Americans have gotten COVID. Among teenagers and adolescents, 75% had evidence of prior infection.
How long does that protection last? And that question hasn't been answered in terms of prior infections.
Meantime, Pfizer has asked the FDA to authorize vaccine booster shots for kids 5 to 11. A decision for shots for kids under 5 is still pending. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
437, about 62 degrees.
And still to come, the baby formula shortage, what parents should and shouldn't do to get their hands on it.
The front office for the Cowboys gearing up for this year's NFL draft, where they pick and what they are looking for in order to be ready for the upcoming season. Sports is coming up.
And some quiet roads out there, looking out there with TransGuide. There's a look there at Loop 410 at Northwest Military. At least no rain in sight.
And outside with live cam, sitting around 62 degrees, likely drop a few more before we get into sunrise this morning. You're watching GMSA. We'll be right back.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Countdown is on. We're 1 day away from the NFL draft. Cowboys sitting pretty good. They have the number 9 pick, including the 24th overall in round 1. Cowboys have needs on both sides of the ball. Connor Williams and Lael Collins on the offensive side. Randy Gregory on the defensive line. All three no longer with the team. Most are expecting the Cowboys to use their first selection to pick an offensive lineman like Aggies Kenyon Green, but when it comes down to it, who has the final say in the Cowboys war room? This was Jerry's hilarious response.
There's a lot of talk in this business about who makes the call, who actually makes the call. Okay, Taco was Stephen's call. Parson is my call.
That's not that funny to me.
The NFL draft starts tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. You can watch it live right here on KSAT 12.
And time now is 4:42 and 62 degrees for now. The role that helped elevate Al Pacino's career almost wasn't. A new series on Paramount Plus is giving Godfather fans a look inside the drama on the set.
But first, the hunt is on for baby formula as the shortage continues across our country. What experts say parents should not do as their search becomes more and more desperate.
The dramatic defamation trial between actor Johnny Depp and his ex-wife Amber Heard continues as Amber Heard prepares to take the stand. ABC's Janae Norman has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, dramatic new testimony in Johnny Depp's defamation trial against his ex-wife, Amber Heard. On Tuesday, a psychologist taking the stand testifying that Heard suffers from borderline personality disorder, a condition driven by an underlying fear of abandonment, and histrionic personality disorder, a condition she says is associated with drama and shallowness.
She had a very sophisticated way of minimizing any personal problems.
Heard now preparing to tell her side of the story after 58-year-old Depp took the stand.
These personal details of this toxic relationship, trials are about the truth. And right now, the defense has had some very difficult days.
And we'll have much more on the trial, plus live legal analysis from Dan Abrams coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Janae Norman, ABC News, New York.
The nationwide infant formula shortage has parents scrambling, driving from store to store, even hitting up social media just to feed their babies. With no end in sight, 12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz looks at what parents should and absolutely should not be doing.
Infant formula is a precious commodity, and the hunt is stressing moms out.
You go to 2, 3, 4 stores in a day, and the shelves are completely empty.
This is what parents are up against. Even when formula is in stock, stores are rationing, leading to desperate times for Brandy Sloan and her newly adopted baby.
It's been insane. This is the only thing your baby can have. It's not like you can just give them a Happy Meal.
Why the extreme shortages? Well, first there were pandemic supply chain problems. Then February's big recall of popular formulas made it worse.
Abbott Nutrition says it is prioritizing production to help replenish the supply, even air shipping Similac advanced powder from its Ireland plant. In the meantime, what's a mom to do?
So looking for a store-bought generic or looking for another brand is what we've been encouraging most patients to do, and to get as close as what they were on as possible.
Pediatrician Courtney Smith says many babies transition well, others don't. So talk to your pediatrician for guidance and even samples. What not to do? She says do not dilute formula.
It can absolutely cause severe problems for babies if you water down the formula, anything from calorie content to electrolyte imbalances. So we absolutely advise against watering down formula.
Also, try shopping smaller stores. Shop online from reputable retailers and network. Brandy's friends not only mailed her a few cans.
I actually had some friends who graciously donated some of their frozen breast milk. So that actually saved us and got us through, because I don't know what we would have done otherwise.
Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
448.
Quick look at the roads with Trans Guide. Look there at Loop 410 at Northwest Military, where things are moving right now.
I went to check the mail last night, shorts and a t-shirt. It's San Antonio in April, and I was like, man, I need a light jacket or something.
Yeah.
It was brisk out there last night.
It was a little chilly. We had temperatures in the 50s. The rain was nice, by the way, and my grass, as green as it's going to be all year, probably.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, probably.
This is it, huh?
Yeah, as we head into June and July, we know what happens.
Heydays at the Horn House.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. But it is beautiful right now. The rain was great to see. Now, we've lost rain, but we still have some cloud-covered clouds. Really starting to thicken up some. Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Laredo, basically the western part of the viewing area. But I think as we go throughout the course of the day, those clouds will spread towards San Antonio. Really, they kind of already have. And that means it'll be sort of a mostly cloudy day. That's what our computer models are telling us here. Noontime, clouds start to spread in. This even shows a sprinkle or two. Don't know that will really happen. But the bottom line here is it will be fairly cloudy. And the clouds will really thicken up as we get into tomorrow. So with that in mind, temperatures today, not all that warm. 79 degrees at the airport, 72 Fair Oaks Ranch, 84 high in Castroville, 79 Elmendorf, 81 your forecast high down there in Floresville. And as we go outside for you right now, we've got cloudy skies at the airport, 63 degrees, not a lot of wind. Winds will be calm today, but as we know, this year it has been sort of a windy start to 2022. Winds pick up again tomorrow. We're going to see some gusty winds going into the weekend. Humidity is also on the increase. Dew point is at 60 at this hour. Temperatures, 58 in Kerrville, 65 Del Rio, 66 in Uvalde, 64 right now, Pleasanton, 67 down there in Stinson, 66 Castroville. And then our typical cool spots, checking in the upper 50s, Bernie Stage and Comfort. Dew points on the rise. They're not so bad right now. We're borderline muggy, but as high pressure shifts east, we get that flow off the Gulf of Mexico, and you know what that means. Some more humidity really throughout the rest of the forecast. So let's look down the line here. Will we have another chance for rain? And I think we have a shot, but it's going to take until the weekend for that to happen. So as we go forward in time here, this is tomorrow, 5 o'clock, warmer conditions. We get the dry line setting up across West Texas. This doesn't do anything for us. Just basically keeps us humid here. Friday, same story. It'll be almost hot. We'll have temperatures near 90. It will also be humid, so heat indices come back into play. Friday, Saturday, Sunday probably too. Here's what we're watching. This weak frontal boundary will start to work in, I think, by Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. That gives us about a 20% chance of rain. The question will be, how far south does it make it? Will it get close enough to help generate some showers and storms? And that's still a question. But I think especially the hill country has a shot at some of these storms, and we'll have to watch for the potential of a few strong to severe storms. So that'll be kind of the focus Saturday, maybe even into Sunday. Here's the extended forecast. We're going to go windy conditions Thursday and Friday, 86 tomorrow, 89 on Friday. So there's your big warm up. And then by Saturday, 90 degrees, 20% chance of rain. Some of those storms may linger over into Sunday, 89. If we see storms at all, keep in mind these rain chances are low. So your Saturday plans should be just fine. We just got to keep an eye on the sky. Another slight chance of rain Monday. But this is very April-like as we head into the weekend and into next week, guys.
Mm-hmm. More of what we're used to.
More of what we're used to. The last couple of days has been nice.
I agree.
But it can only last so long.
Not heard a single person gripe about this whatsoever. No, because we know it's around the corner, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 4:52 exactly, 62 degrees.
Doctor Strange is in the multiverse of madness for the upcoming movie sequel. We're going to have a preview coming up. Doctor Strange is revealing what to expect in the Marvel sequel that's set to open next month. And Paramount Plus is offering an inside look at the behind the scenes of the iconic Godfather movie.
Looks pretty cool. For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Doctor Strange getting ready for worldwide domination. The Marvel sorcerer showing up in London to promote the sequel Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Star Benedict Cumberbatch says he was excited to get back into this world.
You know, the fun of Strange is that he's complex, he's witty, he's dry, he's very human and damaged, and a reflection, like I think the best of superheroes are parts of all of us.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness hits theaters May 6th.
Gangster movies are dead.
It's an offer that was almost refused. The Offer is a new limited series from Paramount Plus that details the making of The Godfather. And star Juno Temple tells me you're going to learn a lot of surprising stuff about one of the most famous movies in history. But the one thing that shocked her the most?
That Al Pacino almost got fired. That was shocking. I was like, what? On what planet? You know what I mean? Can you imagine if Al Pacino had been fired? We wouldn't be sitting here talking about it.
Temple plays Betty McCart, assistant to The Godfather's lead producer Al Ruddy. The Offer debuts on Paramount Plus tomorrow. The Love Shack closing its doors. The B-52s announcing a farewell tour of North America this summer. Singer Fred Schneider says in a statement that after almost half a century on the road, it's time for one last blowout. And happy birthday to Lizzo. The music superstar, who also just announced an upcoming tour later this year, is 34 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
4:56, about 62 degrees.
And still to come on GMSA, making ends meet is now a lot harder for a large majority of Americans. And a new study says there's a growing gender pay gap.
Checking TransGuide right now, looking great. 410 at Northwest Military. Stephen Cavazos is here and on duty coming up the next 2 hours.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Bullet casings littering the ground on the southeast side after a shooting that sends a man to the hospital with multiple gunshot wounds. Jonathan Cotto is live with details.
And kids 5 through 11 could soon be able to get a COVID booster shot. The latest on that approval process.
Lots of clouds, and it's still cool out there. Are we done with the showers? Justin's forecast is coming up. Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, April 27th.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you've had a great week, and I hope you've enjoyed the break in temperatures.
My tie is not straight. It's driving me nuts. Okay, let's check in Justin Horn. Good morning. Your tie is straight, sir.
Yes.
Is it? Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, good. You know, we were just talking about the fact that no one was really angry about the whole weather situation. Well, there's a few people a little salty about how much rain they got, and I don't blame them. I was one of those people. Let's take a look at this picture on our KSAT Connect. That's all we got. How much is that? What, less than an inch? Hey, you know what? I would take that. Mine was even lower, my rain gauge. And there were some spotty amounts where it was probably less than an inch here in San Antonio. There's a few rain gauges that looked like that. Hopefully we can get some more rain in the forecast for you if you didn't get much out of this last system. There's a chance coming up on Saturday. Pollen count is in. The rain did do wonders for us when it comes to oak. It went way down. It's in the moderate category. We'll see where we land today, but we're on the downside for sure for oak season. Molds jumped up, though. That's the trade-off, right? 9,480 with that added moisture in the atmosphere. This morning, temperatures in the 60s and 50s. It's a really nice morning. 57 degrees, Bernie Stage, 56 Comfort, 63 New Braunfels. It won't be a big warm-up today, but we will see those temperatures make it eventually into the 70s. There's an outside chance for a sprinkler or two, but rain is basically out of the forecast here. 73 noontime. We're going to call it mostly cloudy. 79 your high temperature. We've got the southeasterly wind starting to kick in, which means more humidity next couple days. And again, maybe that chance for rain over the weekend. Roads are drier now. That should mean potentially, hopefully, an easier morning commute. Let's check in with Steven for the latest there.
Keeping my fingers crossed. Justin Horn, thank you very much. I-10 East at Loop 410 is one of the shots of TransGuide we're taking a look at right now. You saw what appears to be some sort of big rig that's having some trouble out there. And we're seeing also that situation at 35 at Splashtown. But elsewhere, it is dark and it is quiet. So we are not complaining about what we are seeing on these TransGuide cameras because yesterday there were a number of issues that we're seeing around our viewing area. But thankfully right now, all we are seeing is pavement. Let's go ahead and look at the map because what we're seeing here is just a lot of green on the screen, so that's a great way to start one Wednesday morning. No trouble on the road just yet, but we're going to continue to watch things closely. If you plan on traveling to the Alamo City, well, we have some good news for you as well. Pleasant news, we should say, from Pleasanton, 29 minutes on I-37 northbound at this hour. Traveling in from Highway 90 in those eastbound lanes, it's going to take you just about 19 minutes to get to San Antonio and 16 minutes, little time from Lytle on those northbound lanes of 35. Let's get one last look at, actually, we have the overall look at the inbound times right now. You can see green across the board, but let's get to that last look at TransGuide. US 90 at Couples. The morning is moving. We will talk some construction spots coming up a little bit later on in this newscast. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio police investigating a shooting that happened on the city's southeast side.
Our Jonathan Goto joins us live. And good morning, Jonathan. Can you tell us if anyone was hurt in this incident?
Good morning, Stephanie. And yes, we're learning a man has been taken to BAMC with multiple gunshot wounds. We know San Antonio police were called out here to the 2900 block of Anza and Quig close to 2:30 this morning. We're right between Pecan Valley and 37 near South New Braunfels. Police say the victim told them he was walking home when someone opened fire at him and says the shooting happened in the street, but police discovered a trail of shell casings leading back to a courtyard of an apartment complex. Now, police say the victim is a man in his 40s. He was shot in each arm and on the foot. Again, he was taken to the hospital and is said to be in stable condition. And as you can see out here, it's still very much an active scene. Detectives working the area to learn exactly what happened here earlier this morning. Reporting live from the city's southeast side, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. In your morning headlines, in upstate New York, 2 people are dead following a medical helicopter crash. It happened Tuesday afternoon in the town of Elba, just east of Buffalo. The Mercy Flight chopper was doing a training flight when it went down. Took off from the Batavia airport about 5 miles south of the crash site. The 2 people killed were the only ones on board. The cause of the crash is under investigation.
In San Jose, California, good news in a kidnapping investigation. A 3-month-old child reported missing on Monday has been found safe. 3 suspects in the case are now in custody. Police say the baby was taken from the San Jose apartment on Monday. That led to a massive search for the baby that involved the FBI. Now, the suspects are in custody, in large part thanks to the employee of a nursing home whose facility is just across the street from the home where the baby was found. A woman who was with the child's grandmother before he was abducted is also being detained. Police say that the initial investigation shows a link between the family and the suspects. New evidence that more and more Americans are struggling to make ends meet, with the price of everything from food to electricity rising to record levels. And new figures released overnight show just how expensive childcare has become in this country. ABC's Andrea Fujii has the details.
This morning, a new study shedding light on how many Americans, particularly women, are not making enough money to support their families.
All of these things impact how healthy we are and our well-being.
The study, released overnight by the University of Wisconsin Population Health Institute, shows the wage many people earn does not nearly cover the amount needed for basic necessities. Researchers found a typical household with one adult and 2 kids needs to make $35.80 an hour to cover food, housing, health care, and child care costs. Yet the federal minimum wage is a far lower $7.25 an hour.
In some places, it would take a 200% increase for the average wage to meet the living wage.
The study also found a growing gender pay gap. Women earn about 80 cents on the dollar less than men for the same work. To earn the average annual salary of a white man, a white woman must work 3 more months to make the same amount. A black woman must work 7 more months, and a Hispanic woman must work nearly 10 more months.
It's important that we take steps to close the gender gap so that women can meet their full potential, can create economic security for themselves and for their families and for their communities.
The study also found childcare has become a major drain on the resources of American families. On average, a household with 2 children now spends a quarter of its income on childcare.
What do we need to do to create a childcare system that is affordable and accessible and that sets our kids off on a path of long-term success?
Researchers say the pandemic expanded the gender pay gap, due in part to lack of paid sick leave for many women in the workforce. Andrea Fujii, ABC News.
507, about 61 degrees.
And customers who invest with Fidelity will soon be able to add cryptocurrency to their 401k accounts. That story in today's Tech Bites.
Coming up, COVID booster shots could be on the way for kids ages 5 through 11. How soon will they be available? We'll tell you. And taking a look outside with live cam. Still somewhat a break in the temperatures this morning. We got 61 degrees right now. We'll be right back. Welcome back. 5:10 in your morning consumer headline. Shares of online trading platform Robinhood dropped Tuesday after the company announced plans for layoffs. The company says it will lay off 9% of its workforce. CEO Vlad Tenev says Robinhood's financial position is strong with over $6 billion in cash, but the layoffs follow a period of hiring that led to what they call duplicate roles and job functions. Robinhood increased its staff from 700 to 3,800 beginning in 2020. Company's stock hit a new low following news Tuesday. Shares close at $10, the lowest price since the company went public last July. A COVID-19 booster shot could be on the way for kids ages 5 through 11. Pfizer-BioNTech says it has submitted its emergency use authorization application to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. The company says trials have shown a strong immune response with no safety problems. Meanwhile, Pfizer is still studying how children younger than 5 react to the COVID-19 vaccine. Results of those trials should be out in the coming months. That age group is the only one not yet approved to be vaccinated. President Joe Biden reversing another Trump-era policy. This time, it's all about light bulbs. The Department of Energy has finalized new efficiency rules that phase out older, high-energy incandescent light bulbs. Old bulbs don't meet the new standard and will need to be phased out of production within 75 days. Department of Energy will work with manufacturers to ease the transition, and full enforcement of the rule will go into effect July 2023, which is also the deadline for retailers to stop selling the old bulbs entirely. So get them while you can. Yes, time now 5:12 and 61 degrees for now. Still ahead, after a long career, actress Jean Smart has gotten her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And your water bottle is going high tech. The feature Apple's new water bottle has that could help you in your wellness goals.
Who do you think you are?
Canceling plans? Commanding a room? Being your own biggest fan? Who said you could do that? Say no to settling. No to compromising. Yes to getting all of the above. Who? No, really. Tell us. Who do you think you are? You're you. And TJ Maxx is where you can afford to be you to the max.
Lactate is 100% real milk, just without the lactose. Tastes great in our iced coffees, too, which makes waking up at 5 a.m. to milk the cows a little easier.
Mabel says for you, it's more like 5:15.
Mom, really?
For intelligent identity protection, Smarter is Identity IQ. Smarter is protecting what's yours with real-time monitoring and alerts for all 3 credit bureaus. Visit identityiq.com/smarter and use the promo code on your screen to start your 7-day trial for $1.
Just about 5:16. Welcome back to GMSA. Fidelity Investments will soon offer Bitcoin as an investment option in their retirement accounts. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, cryptocurrency for your retirement. Fidelity will allow some customers to fund their 401ks with Bitcoin. The option will be available later this year, and employees will reportedly be able to save up to 20% of their retirement in Bitcoin. YouTube is expanding its tipping feature to creators across the globe. Now viewers can express their appreciation for a specific uploaded video by sending money directly to the creator. They can choose from preset super thanks tips ranging from $2 to $50. Finally, Apple wants to help you stay hydrated. The company is offering 2 new smart water bottles in retail and online stores. The bottles transmit data onto Apple Health, helping you track your water consumption. They're supposed to keep water cold for 24 hours, and they start at about $60. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Just about 5:17.
Go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos.
It's been a quiet morning so far. We're able to actually enjoy the roads right now, especially if you're heading out in the next few moments. 624 at Bandera Road. Let's take that drive around town. 410 at Callahan. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, just lots of pavement this morning. We're not really spotting any issues that would cause you to be late to work or maybe to go grab that cup of coffee. But let's go ahead and talk about what we are seeing right now, and those are a few stalls. Let's go ahead and start here. We're bringing it into 35 over toward the east side of town. We do have a stall detected in the northbound lanes near Splashtown Drive, and not far from there, we do have another stall off I-10 eastbound at Loop 410. So check those vehicles before you get out on the road. We saw a lot of those stalls yesterday morning as well. But while we're on the east side, let's take a drive up to the northeast side and talk about what we'll be seeing on I-35 a little bit later this week. Now, there is some drilling work that is taking place. Drivers, keep in mind that is current until Friday, April 29th. And now TxDOT says this is an overnight deal. So 8 in the evening to 5 in the morning is when you can expect a single westbound main lane closure at Pat Booker Road to Gateway Boulevard. So plan ahead and grab those phones right now and open up the camera app. We'll leave this up for a few seconds. As a quick reminder, scan this QR code. That will take you directly to the KSAT traffic page. It will have the latest closures that will be taking place in your area and, of course, anything that could be impacting your morning commute. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And what about the countdown behind you?
Who doesn't love a good countdown?
We love it.
Let's look at some holidays that are coming up. Today is obviously the 27th. So we are just 11 days away from Mother's Day. Get those gifts early. Make it happen. Memorial Day, 33 days away. Summer begins in 55 days, and then we have 4th of July in 68 days.
Holy cow. Really? 68 days?
It's just around the corner.
Wow.
Get ready. The heat's going to be here before we know it. So that's why we enjoy days like yesterday and today. We go outside for you. Clouds have shifted in here around San Antonio. 62 degrees at the airport, 65 Stinson. Over there at Kelly, 61. Randolph is at 60. Not a lot of wind this morning, but winds will pick up some this afternoon, but even more so tomorrow. You'll really start to notice the gusty winds as we get into Thursday and Friday. Temperatures updating as we speak. 64 Del Rio, 59 Kerrville, 63 in New Braunfels. Most places here around San Antonio in the low 60s. You'll find some 50s as you get up into Kendall County this morning. Dew points trying to rise a little bit. We're at 59, so that's still in the pleasant category. But as we go throughout the course of the day, high pressure, which is anchored off to our east, will start to usher in that Gulf moisture, and you'll see these dew points ramp up. And by, I'd say, Friday, we're back into heat and humidity. So that's why, again, yesterday, today, earlier. So nice, comparatively speaking. The satellite picture shows all those clouds there across West Texas. That's some of that moisture starting to come back in. And those clouds actually spread east. So you're going to notice that the things will cloud up a little bit more, I think, here in San Antonio. There will still be some sun today, but a mostly cloudy day is what we're calling for. Let's look at the KSAT 12-hour forecast here. 61, 7 a.m. by 72, 11 a.m. And you may notice that 10% chance of rain. We can't rule out a sprinkle or two today, but it would be insignificant. 73 noontime. And then by the time we get into the afternoon, 79, the forecast high temperature. We're looking at southeasterly winds at this point, anywhere from 5 to 15. Down the line, as we get into tomorrow, it's definitely warmer. Temperatures return to the 80s, and we'll have a dry line starting to set up across West Texas. Doesn't really do a lot for us. What I'm keeping an eye on is this frontal boundary that sinks south by Saturday. The question is, how far south does it make it? And there's still some questions there, but if it can push far enough south, maybe into the hill country, then we can start to bring some rain chances back in. The problem with that is, though, it'll be hot and humid, and that will lead to probably a few strong storms. Right now, we have a 20% chance of rain in the forecast for Saturday evening. Most of Saturday will be just fine. So here you look at the 7-day forecast. You got some windy conditions Thursday and Friday, temperatures climbing to near 90. 20% chance of rain Saturday. Sunday will be warm and humid too, and another small chance of rain showing up on Monday with a high of 88.
88. Okay. That feels probably a little bit closer to normal.
Yep. May's just right around the corner, man.
It's hard to believe. It went by pretty quick. I mean, it was just like Fiesta, then Easter. It was like April just went.
Less than 70 days till Independence Day. Yeah. Wow, here we go. Yep. Thank you, Justin. 521, about 61 degrees.
And epic news for fans of the Broadway musical Wicked. Producers say of the movie version that they are splitting the big screen adaptation into 2 films instead of 1. The details are after the break.
Ready for lottery numbers? Here they are. Pick 3 numbers: 154, Fireball 7, Daily 4, 3852, Fireball 9.
Cash 5, 10, 13, 26, 28, 32. And your Mega Millions: 5, 7, 19, 46, 69, Mega Ball 2, Mega Plier 4. Good luck.
Now for a look at some of the stories making headlines in the world of entertainment. The play Wicked is coming to movie theaters in 2 big releases.
And the B-52s announced their farewell tour. Here's Douglas Hyde with the Hollywood Minute.
The movie version of the billion-dollar grossing Broadway musical Wicked has just been split in 2. The Wizard of Oz prequel starring Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo will now be 2 films, the first set for release Christmas 2024 and the second debuting the following Christmas.
We proudly welcome Jean Smart to the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
4-time Emmy winner Jean Smart received her star on the Walk of Fame. The TV actress's career spans decades and includes memorable roles in shows like Hacks and Designing Women.
I am Montero, and I welcome you to my event.
2022 is a year of beginnings and endings on the concert trail. Lil Nas X just announced his very first headlining tour, which kicks off in September and will take him to the US and Europe. And after 45 years of performing together, the B-52s are boarding up the Love Shack. They're hitting the road one last time for a farewell tour beginning in August. Tickets go on sale this week. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
526, about 61 degrees.
And still ahead, why Texas is now looking for private donations to help cover the cost of busing undocumented migrants out of state.
Plus, a new mission to space making history this morning. We'll tell you what's up.
Plus, the Animal Defense League standing by with a special pet that needs a new home.
And with the cases of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and countless others, having these types of conversations can be difficult. Coming up ahead at GMSA at 6 this morning, what can be done to promote healing? The next phase in cutting down noise across the city of San Antonio. What a 6-month study is revealing about noise nuisances.
And taking a look outside with live cam, it's a nice 61 degrees for now, and we're going to check in with Justin to see when things will heat up again.
Good morning, everybody. We've made it to midweek. It's Wednesday, April 27th.
Thanks for joining us today. It's 5:30, so you have time to get that coffee. Maybe you have a choice now. You could either get warm coffee or cold coffee. I think you're good either way.
That's right. Justin, could we drop below 60 this morning, or are we going to kind of hold steady for a bit?
Oh, it's possible. It's possible. I think we'll probably drop maybe a degree or two more. So we could drop to 59 briefly. The cloud cover is starting to move in, so that's going to keep temperatures from really bottoming out this morning. Still feels great out there, though. And here's what's ahead next few days. We're going to see a mostly cloudy day today. It will be a little bit warmer than yesterday, but not overly warm. 79 is what we're forecasting this afternoon. Then heat, humidity, and windy conditions come back into play starting tomorrow and Friday. So it's going to feel a lot more like April by the end of the work week. And then this weekend, we'll be watching for a couple storms on Saturday, maybe a few strong storms too. So that's what's in our forecast. In the meantime, great weather this morning, 62, so we've actually come up a degree. 59 Kerrville, 57 in Fredericksburg, 64 right now in Hondo, and 61 out in Bandera. Cloud cover starting to spread in from the west. We're going to go partly to mostly cloudy this morning, and then temperatures in the 70s by noontime, 73 degrees, southeasterly winds around 9 miles per hour, and then this afternoon, 79. The forecast high, mostly cloudy. And winds will stay in the range 5 to 15. It's not too windy today, but that does, again, change tomorrow. We're going to talk more about that extended forecast, which includes those rain chances Saturday and some warmer temperatures, too. That's coming up in just a bit. We'll get over to Stephen now. What is going on the roadways? Are there any issues?
It was quiet up until a few minutes ago, Justin. We are working with our friends at TransGuide to get a view of a crash that was reported up toward 35. We're going to get to that in just a moment, but you can see elsewhere around town things are looking okay. So just remember to take it easy. Looked like that car was speeding down that roadway. So again, no need to rush out the door. But as I mentioned, there is a crash that we are trying to get some information on. Wide look at the map doesn't show problems, but you see that crash is up here toward the northeast side. This is off I-35 at Weidner. We are hearing reports of this being reported in the southbound lanes of 35. So this could impact a driver's time. Anyone that may be traveling down I-35, perhaps from Live Oak. So right there at Weidner Road, again, we will work to get more information. Let's take a drive down over here because we still have this stall. I-35 northbound at Splashdown Drive, and this stall detected not too far off Loop I-10 eastbound at Loop 410. So just check those vehicles. Make sure to take it easy this morning. We are hoping for a very calm start, but we'll see how things develop. Thankfully, no need to rush out the door if you're traveling into the Alamo City. I-10 westbound, traveling in from Seguin, 29 minutes at this hour. If you are traveling in from Livonia on 87 in those northbound lanes, just a 22-minute drive time and 28 minutes coming up from Flotusville. So no rush there. But again, we will work with our friends at TransGuide to get the shot of the 35 at Weidner, find out what those conditions look like, and of course, keep you updated right here on GMSA. Steph?
Thank you, Stephen. The set of a music video has become the backdrop for a real-life nightmare. What San Antonio police describe as a drive-by shooting has left as many as 4 people wounded. It happened overnight at a barbershop on the northwest side of town, Wurzbach Road near Ingram Road. Katrina Weber is there with a live report. And Katrina, have police found the shooter?
I just spoke with an officer a little while ago. He told me that they have not made any arrests yet. He says right now they have just a vague description of the car that was involved, some sort of sedan. But he says investigators will be looking at surveillance video from the strip mall. Now, that chaos erupted in the middle of a different kind of video. Police say some of the people involved were shooting a music video inside the barbershop when the gunfire rained down on them after 2 this morning. Officers who were here on the scene told us 4 people were hit, 2 in the leg, 1 in the head, and another person grazed in the head and leg. 3 of them went to a hospital either by ambulance or personal car. Police say the 4th person refused transport, and they say none of the wounds were life-threatening. Well, the officer who I spoke with a little while ago told me that a 5th person also may have been hurt while trying to run away from this all. As it stands now, again, police do not know the reason for the shooting. Their investigation is still in the beginning stages at this point. What is at the end is probably this window right here, which is shattered, and you can still see that huge bullet hole where the gunfire went right into that barbershop. And again, no arrest yet in this case. Reporting live on the northwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. A woman who played a role in her boyfriend's murder pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 20 years. Right after the plea to murder the death of Isaiah Roper, 26-year-old Indaria Flowers received her sentence. In September 2018, Flowers and James Johnson went to Roper's family home. The Bexar County DA's office says Flowers got into a fight with Roper and his family, then pulled out a knife. The weapon was wrestled away from Flowers during the argument. She then yelled for Johnson to shoot Roper. He was killed in front of his family.
Another woman on trial, Angelica Navarro de Paz, is accused in a murder for hire plot. Now, prosecutors say she put a hit out on a woman who apparently owed her money. This is a case that goes back to 2017. Investigators say an undercover officer spoke with Navarro de Paz during opening statements yesterday. Prosecutors said they have video and audio proving the deal was made. The victim in this case was never killed. Navarro de Paz is expected to take the stand in her defense later in the trial.
The Dilley Police Department, along with several other law enforcement agencies, help escort the body of Texas National Guardsman Bishop Evans home. Dilley Police sharing this video of a hero escort. Evans's body recovered from the Rio Grande near Eagle Pass yesterday. Last week, Evans dove into the water after seeing a migrant woman appear to struggle in the water. He was from Arlington and served in the Guard here in Texas for nearly 2 years.
A pilot program designed to take a look at where noise complaints in the city are most prevalent wrapped up after 6 months. Now, the Noise Ordinance Task Force got the final report that showed there were more than 8,400 noise complaints between October and April, and only about 155 citations were handed out. A firm hired to help find a solution to the noise problem has been analyzing the data and talking to residents and businesses. The firm found the biggest problem is lack of education on how sound travels. The next phase will be for the task force and businesses to take field trips to noise hotspots and begin formulating some possible changes to the city's permit process. The next update will be in about a month.
A San Antonio man will be laid to rest this morning nearly 2 months after he was hit and killed by a San Antonio police officer. The crash happened the night of March 5th near West Commerce and Northwest 39th Street. 64-year-old Feliciano Jimenez was hit around 8:30 p.m. SAPD told KSAT the area was dark that night, but could not say if that contributed to the incident. Jimenez's family says they asked the city to improve safety in that same area months before his death. Today, they will see the dash camera video from that crash. Well, Congressman Madison Cawthorn was cited for bringing a loaded handgun into a TSA checkpoint at Charlotte's airport Tuesday. It happened there where a Republican had a 9mm pistol. Congressman Cawthorn admitted a loaded weapon belonged to him and cooperated with officers who took it away. According to the Asheville Citizen-Times, Cawthorn was stopped last year in Asheville's airport for having a gun in his carry-on bag. That time the weapon was not loaded. A spokesperson from his office said at the time he put the gun in his bag by mistake.
Texas is now looking for private donations to help cover the cost of sending migrants to Washington, D.C. on charter buses. There was some question of whether Texas taxpayers were covering the costs. The state's Division of Emergency Management set up a website to accept donations. The site claims as of April 13th, more than $55 million have been donated. However, it is virtually identical to another one Texas set up to collect money for a border wall. The site does not say how much has been raised specifically to pay for the buses or how much the mandate has already cost Texas taxpayers.
Time check 5:38, about 61 degrees.
The Animal Defense League joining us with a new furry friend that needs a new home.
New space mission making history. This morning we'll explain.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, starting at 61 degrees. Not too bad. Enjoy the break while you can. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It's 5:41. A new mission to space is making history this morning, and it's all because of the astronaut who's on board.
Here's ABC's Derek Dennis.
This morning, a history-making mission to space.
Liftoff. Go Falcon. Let freedom ring. Godspeed, Crew 4.
3 American astronauts and 1 European cruising at 17,500 miles per hour to the International Space Station. One of the NASA astronauts is 33-year-old Jessica Watkins, who will become the first black woman to live on the space station for a long-term mission. She'll also become the first black woman to perform a spacewalk.
I think part of it is is really just kind of the logistics of timing. But I also think that maybe it is reflective or indicative of maybe a more systemic kind of issue that we are seeing in our country, where there's a bit of a pipeline problem, if you will.
Watkins, a geologist, joined NASA's astronaut program in 2017. She previously worked with the team that developed the Mars Curiosity rover. Now Watkins and her team will work on more than 200 experiments on the space station, including new so-called smart shirts that measure your vital signs in zero gravity. The Colorado native says she hopes her time in space will inspire more young people here on Earth.
There's room to invest more in kind of youth education and getting young girls and young people of color involved at an earlier age, and then providing them the support and resources to kind of continue along that path and pursue careers in STEM.
Derek Dennis, ABC News.
And time now is 5:43 and 61 degrees for now.
If you're looking to add to your family, the Animal Defense League is coming up with a new candidate for a new family. We'll introduce you after the break.
And we're here with Julie this morning from ADL, and we've got Tinky with us, right?
Yes, this is Tinky. Isn't that the cutest name? So Tinky is only 8 weeks old, which means he just came out of our foster program and he is ready for adoption.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's adorable.
He's just a happy little kitty cat. It would make a perfect family pet, right?
He would make a perfect family pet. Awesome pet. He's super sweet. He's very talkative.
Yes.
Which means he's got a great personality. He's not a hide under the bed kind of cat.
Yeah.
So he'll be a great family member for somebody.
That's awesome.
But
there he goes.
The thing that's really important for us right now is that we're in kitten season.
Okay.
So that means that there are a lot of baby kittens that need to come into our program.
Okay.
And if we don't have good support with fosters, then we're unable to pull these babies. And if we're unable to pull these babies, then that's a problem.
That's a problem.
We've got to be able to bring them into the program. So we're looking to add around 40 fosters to our program to effectively care for the amount of kittens that we want to take care of.
And that helps so much, right, to have fosters?
So much, and it's really easy. Mother's Day's coming up. Moms can do it with their daughters as a service project. They make great temporary house gifts. You don't have to commit. You can just enjoy this cuteness for just a short period of time, and it's really easy.
He's so lovable. Yes, that's such a great opportunity. So if you want to help, that's a great way to do it. And also, Tinky.
He's
available. 11,300 Nacogdoches Road, the Paul Jolly Center for Pet Adoptions. The number is 210-655-1481. Julie, thank you.
Thank you. How cute.
Right on cue.
Yeah, I think Tinky likes you, Justin.
5:47.
And it looks like there are some problems at I-35 and O'Connor Road. At least things are slowing down there, Stephen.
Yeah, that's right. Mark, Steph, we're getting a look. Now, this is not a labeled shot from TransGuide, but we can tell you this is right there at 35 at O'Connor. Slow-moving traffic. A little too early to see a situation like this, but we want to make sure our drivers get to where they need to be on time and safely. And you can see that this is going to be something that will be slowing them down, especially if you are traveling in those southbound lanes of I-35. Now, we told you this crash has been reported at Weidner Road. And as I step back, you can see that buildup that is already starting to stretch there in those southbound lanes. Now, this is because a lot of people travel into San Antonio from 35, perhaps from Live Oak or New Braunfels. Let's check that out right now. If you are going to be traveling in from New Braunfels, thankfully, there's no delay just yet. 28 minutes in those southbound lanes of 35 to the downtown area. And if while we're at it, we'll check out Seguin as well. 29 minutes if you're traveling to the downtown area. So that is the main issue right now. You can see there's also a stall, but that's not really causing any other problems. But that's an area we'll watch closely as the morning does go on. One last look around town, 35 at Evans. Elsewhere, things look good, but 35 at Weidner, just not a pretty shot, guys.
For now.
No. Thank you very much, Stephen. Temperature continues to drop in little bits.
A little bit. It feels good this morning. It really does. We've had a nice stretch here. Now, as you might imagine, things are going to change. It is going to get warmer. We're going to enjoy this weather for right now. And one great feature, our KSAT Connect feature, allows you to send in photos. We can see what you're seeing. And a lot of times we'll get rain gauges, and this is always helpful. This was from yesterday. Now, this particular viewer didn't get as much rain as they had hoped for. This was less than an inch here. Some places did really well yesterday, 2 to 3 inches in spots, but this was how my rain gauge looked. Didn't get as much as I hoped for, but at least we did get some, and it was fairly widespread around the area. And now we look at the aquifer, it's responding. We're at 648.1 this morning. It's not a huge jump. It's not going to get us out of stage 2, but at least we've leveled off a little bit here, come up just a hair, and we'll see if the aquifer comes up just a little bit more today as that rain soaks in. Again, we're still in stage 2, so what does that mean for you? Once a week watering between 7 and 11 a.m. and 7 and 11 p.m. We're still stuck there, and we do need to add to this a little bit more, especially as we head towards the summer. As we look across the state, we've got a lot of cloud cover, no rain. This cloud cover is going to spread east, I think, throughout the morning time. So we'll see mostly cloudy skies here in San Antonio and probably through much of the day. That's not to say it's going to be cloudy all day. I think we'll see a few peaks of sun, but more clouds than sun in the forecast. And right now we are looking at mostly cloudy skies. 62 at the airport. Dew point is at 59, and that number is probably going to climb next couple days as well. Not a lot of wind at the moment. 63 LaGrange, 58 Fredericksburg, 59 in Kerrville. We're at 66 in Uvalde with a lot of clouds there. And a lot of 50s for parts of Kendall County, our normal cool spots. 59 Bulverde, 63 Canyon Lake. You're at 62 down there in Pleasanton. Dew point tracker. Not much change here. Dew points are in the 50s. Yes, now it feels okay, but this number will climb. And by the time we get into, say, the weekend, those dew points are in the 70s, so that just makes it feel very sticky. We're going to get high temperatures in the 90s or low 90s potentially. And when you add in that humidity, we will be talking heat indices on Saturday. So let's look forward in time here. As we get into Thursday afternoon, warmer. There will be a dry line out west that may generate a few storms, but that all stays west of us. That'll be the case on Friday too. So there's not much there to generate any showers or storms. But what I'm watching is this frontal boundary here. That sinks south on Saturday. This is Saturday, 7 o'clock. And there may be some lift there to give us some showers and storms. The big question will be, how far south does this boundary make it? Right now it looks like it stalls just north of San Antonio. That may be just close enough to put some rain chances in our forecast. Right now we're going to go with a 20% chance. And one thing we'll have to watch with this is the threat for a couple of strong storms. That'll be there Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. If you have plans this weekend, though, no big deal. We just need to watch the evening hours very closely. And of course, we'll alert you via that KSAT weather app. 86 on Thursday, 89 Friday. We'll see some gusty winds. There's that chance of rain Saturday, 90 degrees, 89 Sunday. Another small chance of rain on Monday as well. But those morning temperatures, it's in the 50s and 60s now. Notice those morning lows back near 70, really the rest of the forecast. So let's enjoy this morning. It feels good.
We will.
We will.
Yeah.
Good advice.
We're going to take our final hour outside, like a field trip.
I'm okay with that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. 5:52, about 61 degrees.
And donuts for breakfast, now absolutely legit. Thanks to Krispy Kreme's new menu item. We're going to show you what it is and how long it's going to be available.
Here are your lottery numbers. Don't forget, tonight's Powerball $454 million jackpot is on the line. Your pick 3 numbers: 154, Fireball 7, Daily 4, 3852, Fireball 9.
Cash 5, 10, 13, 26, 28, 32. And your Mega Millions: 5, 7, 19, 46, 69. Mega Ball 2, Mega Plier 4. Good luck.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, the latest on the war in Ukraine and Russia's drastic move overnight, cutting off gas deliveries for 2 NATO members. Also ahead, the new guidance about aspirin and heart health, what to do if it is already part of your everyday routine, and how to fight back against seasonal allergies, which I think a lot of folks are saying are worse than ever. And don't miss our ultimate Disney cruise giveaway. We're doing it live right here on GMA.
Well, you can now have both donuts and cereal for the same breakfast. Krispy Kreme just came out with, ready for this, Cinnamon Toast Crunch Donuts. You've got 3 to choose from. There's glazed donut covered in a cinnamon milk icing and bits of Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. Or you can get that tasty glaze top with either cream cheese or dulce de leche icing. Did I say that right, or did I totally mess that up? Jamie, how'd I do?
You're good.
Plus pieces of Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal and a sprinkle of cinnamon sugar. I wasn't ready for it. Donuts are on sale now for a limited time. You can get them individually or by the boxful, which comes in a limited edition cereal box inspired dozen box, complete with a word search on the box. Let's see here. Dulce de leche? Yeah. Thank you. All right, 5:57, you are watching GMSA. Still to come, much more in our next hour of Good Morning San Antonio, including the very latest on an overnight shooting on the city's west side. Several people shot while shooting a music video. We have details ahead. And checking TransGuide right now, we've got the hazard lights on out there. We had a stalled vehicle in that last shot. There's I-35 at Splashtown. Much more to come here on GMSA. We'll check back in with our traffic expert, Steven Cavazos.
San Antonio police say there was supposed to be a music video being shot at this barbershop. Instead, 4 people ended up with gunshot wounds. I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you more about it.
And taking a look outside with a live cam, we're starting off nice at 61 degrees. A nice little break from the temperatures so far.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And a good morning to you. It is Wednesday, April 27th. We'll call this Powerball Wednesday because don't forget tonight's drawing for that $454 million jackpot.
Yeah, good luck to all those who participate in that. Right. And I hope you've had a good week so far. The temperatures have been really nice, and now it's going to start to feel like late April.
That's right. We've been leaning cool, and now we start to head the other direction, right, Justin?
That's right. I took the best nap yesterday. It was perfect napping weather. It was amazing. Now we're going to see those temperatures warm up. Not so much today. Today's still going to be okay, but the next couple of days, you'll see those numbers get up close to 90, which is what we would expect this time of year. Right now, though, still very comfortable. 62 degrees at the airport, 58 Kerrville, 58 in Fredericksburg, 66 right now in Uvalde. We are watching some cloud cover trying to work its way back into the area, so it is going to be somewhat of a mostly cloudy day, and I think that's what's going to help us with temperatures. 60 at Randolph, 64 Stinson, 60 right now in New Braunfels. Pollen count, these are yesterday's numbers, but we saw that oak really drop because we got the rain to wash some of that out. Hopefully this trend continues. It was at 370 yesterday and moderate. Molds did jump up, though, because, of course, we did see the rains, 9,480. We'll have that pollen count in here in a couple of hours. We'll pass it along to you. 9 a.m., 67 degrees, mostly cloudy. Noontime, mostly cloudy, 73. There's an outside chance for a sprinkle or two, but nothing significant. By 2 p.m., 77. I think we top out in the upper 70s later today. Southeasterly winds anywhere from 5 to 15 miles per hour. We'll talk about the big warm up, and we do have some rain chances too coming up on Saturday. That forecast in just a bit, but let's get over to Steven now. Get you ready for your morning commute.
Thank you, Justin. Looks like this crash may have cleared. Although TransGuide has not labeled this shot, we are seeing this take place at 35 at O'Connor. Now, we are seeing some slow-moving traffic this morning, but make sure to take it easy. It does look like it may have cleared out. We're not spotting any flashing lights, but we are still seeing a slowdown. That area is right here off of I-35 southbound at Weidner Road. Now, a quick detour for anybody that may have to travel through that area. You can actually exit here at Judson Road. If you are traveling in those southbound lanes, take a left onto Lookout Road and then another left, that is, onto Wurzbach Parkway, and you'll hit 35 again and avoid that slight slowdown. But that could quickly improve as the morning does go on. Thankfully, we are not seeing any slowdowns, especially if you are traveling in that area. We'll start at the bottom, 26 I-35 southbound. It's just going to take you that long to get to the downtown area. A little bit of a slowdown, though, off 281 southbound and Bulverde with a 28-minute drive time. And if you are making the journey from Bernie, I-10 eastbound is 24 minutes at this hour. Let's get one last look at TransGuide. Looks like we have a different shot now, so things look like they've improved. Of course, we'll give you the updates as the morning does go on. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. The expectations were to shoot a music video. Instead, San Antonio police say someone took shots at the people involved.
As many as 4 people were wounded at the Barbershop on the northwest side of town. Katrina Weber's live at the scene on Wurzbach Road near Ingram. How serious are their wounds, Katrina?
Well, good morning. An officer who was here earlier told me that it looks like everyone should survive. He says 3 of the 4 went to a hospital, 2 by ambulance, 1 by private vehicle, and the 4th person refused that type of medical care. Well, officers told us that there were as many as 20 people inside the barbershop filming a music video when someone drove up after 2 this morning and started shooting. When police arrived, though, most of the crowd had scattered. They say they found only the wounded and a couple of other people here. The police have not found the shooter, nor do they know the reason for the shooting. They told us that one of the people was shot in the head, 2 were hit in their legs, and then that 4th person was grazed in the head and leg. According to that officer I spoke with, a 5th person also may have been hurt while trying to run from all of this chaos. You can see where the barbershop itself took a hit, a big bullet hole in the window, and the window is shattered. Police again say they don't know the reason for the shooting or who did it, but they do plan to look at surveillance video, hopefully for some clues. Reporting live on the northwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Katrina. Also new this morning, a man is in the hospital following a shooting on the city's southeast side.
Our Jonathan Cota joins us live. Jonathan, we know this happened several hours ago. Give us an update.
That's right, Mark. Well, we're learning a man was taken to BAMC with multiple gunshot wounds. I was speaking with police just moments ago at the scene before it cleared. They tell us that man is being uncooperative. But let's take a look at what that scene looked like earlier this morning. We know San Antonio police were called out to the 2900 block of Anza and Quig. This is between 37 and Pecan Valley Drive near South New Braunfels Avenue. This all happening close to 2:30 this morning. Now, police say the victim told them he was walking home when someone opened fire at him and says the shooting happened in the street, but police discovered a trail of shell casings leading back to a courtyard of an apartment complex. Now, they say the victim is a man in his 40s. He was shot in each arm and on the foot, and again, he was taken to the hospital and is said to be in stable condition. Now, detectives were working the scene for several hours. Again, that scene clearing just moments ago. This case remains under investigation. We'll bring you the latest as more information is made available. Reporting live from Public Safety Headquarters, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. A San Antonio man will be laid to rest this morning, nearly 2 months after he was hit and killed by a San Antonio police officer. And today, the victim's family will see the dash cam video from that crash.
I'll be going to the station to go see the tape, and maybe it'll give me closure, maybe, or it'll answer questions for me.
64-year-old Feliciano Jimenez was hit on the night of March 5th near West Commerce and 39th Street. SAPD told our crews that night that the area was dark, but did not say if it led to the crash. Jimenez's family says they actually asked the city to improve safety in that same area months before his death. District 5 Councilwoman Terry Castillo's office confirmed Public Works completed a traffic study in the area. A spokesperson for Public Works declined to comment. We have requested a copy of the traffic study, which includes a crash history of that particular area.
Change is on the way for the San Antonio Police Department. A majority of the officers on the force voted to ratify the union contract. Now, the changes would make it harder for fired officers to get their jobs back if they appeal. The contract would also boost officers' pay by nearly 16% over 4 years. The deal would run through September 2026, and we're going to have more on this on our upcoming half hour of GMSA.
Big news overnight in the ongoing conflict in Eastern Europe. Russia opening a new front in its war with Ukraine on Wednesday, deciding to shut off gas to Poland and Bulgaria, 2 European Union nations that have backed Kyiv. It's a dramatic escalation in conflict, increasingly becoming a wider conflict. One day after the U.S. and other Western allies vowed to give better military supplies to Ukraine, the Kremlin upped the ante, using its most essential export as leverage. European gas prices shot up on the news, which the EU's Commission president called an attempt at quote-unquote blackmail.
The House committee investigating the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol is redoubling its efforts to have GOP leader Kevin McCarthy appear for an interview. The push comes amid new revelations about McCarthy's private conversations over the deadly attack. Committee Chairman Benny Thompson said that the panel may issue a second request to McCarthy, who has declined to voluntarily appear.
In your morning consumer headlines, Delta now the first major airline to agree to pay flight attendants while the plane is boarding. Usually the paid hours for cabin crews don't start until the plane's doors close. This comes on top of a 4% raise for Delta flight attendants that takes effect next week, or rather this week.
Tech stocks are taking a beating and taking the NASDAQ down to its worst day since September of 2020. NASDAQ closing Tuesday trading down 4%. The S&P lost 2.8% and the Dow finished down 2.4%.
Fidelity will allow some customers to fund their 401ks with Bitcoin. The option will be available later this year. And employees will reportedly be able to save up to 20% of their retirement in Bitcoin.
Apple wants to help you stay hydrated. The company is offering 2 new smart water bottles in the retail and online stores. Now, the bottles transmit data onto Apple Health, helping you track your water consumption. They're supposed to keep water cold for 24 hours, and they start at about $60.
Right now, 6:09, about 61 degrees.
And we have a lot more to come on GMSA coming up. A little later, we're going to tell you why a new mission to space is making history.
And a new study shedding light on how many Americans, particularly women, are not making enough money to support their families. We have those details just ahead.
And taking a look outside with live cam. Enjoy the 61 degrees. Things are going to warm up today, but it won't be overly hot. We'll be right back.
6:13, welcome back to GMSA. New evidence this morning that more and more Americans are struggling to make ends meet.
With the price of everything from food to electricity rising to record levels, figures released overnight also show just how expensive childcare has become in the country.
ABC's Andrea Fujii has the details.
This morning, a new study shedding light on how many Americans, particularly women, are not making enough money to support their families.
All of these things impact how healthy we are and our well-being.
The study released overnight by the University of Wisconsin Population Health Institute shows the wage many people earn does not nearly cover the amount needed for basic necessities. Researchers found a typical household with 1 adult and 2 kids needs to make $35.80 an hour to cover food, housing, health care, and child care costs. Yet the federal minimum wage is a far lower $7.25 an hour.
In some places, it would take a 200% increase for the average wage to meet the living wage.
The study also found a growing gender pay gap. Women earn about 80 cents on the dollar less than men for the same work. To earn the average annual salary of a white man, a white woman must work 3 more months to make the same amount. A black woman must work 7 more months, and a Hispanic woman must work nearly 10 more months.
It's important that we take steps to close the gender gap so that women can meet their full potential, can create economic security for themselves and for their families and for their communities.
The study also found childcare has become a major drain on the resources of American families. On average, a household with 2 children now spends a quarter of its income on childcare.
What do we need to do to create a childcare system that is affordable and accessible and that sets our kids off on a path of long-term success?
Researchers say the pandemic expanded the gender pay gap, due in part to lack of paid sick leave for many women in the workforce. Andrea Fujii, ABC News.
It's now 6:15.
Go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos.
How to restart my system here, but let's get a look around the roads. We are getting the current look at TransGuide 37 at Hackberry. You are seeing just some smooth moving traffic as we were inching closer to that morning rush. Thankfully, nothing to be concerned about just yet, but we did have a crash here off of I-35 southbound at Weidner Road. We did see a slight slowdown in that direction for a little while, but it wasn't too drastic. Thankfully, I just talked to our friends over at TransGuide. It does look like that crash is cleared out. This was an alternative route we suggested, taking Judson, getting on a Lookout Road, then Wurzbach Parkway, but you won't need to do that any longer because it does look like those lanes in the southbound lanes of 35, that is, have cleared out. We did check the travel times. No need to rush out the door, especially if you're traveling in from any of these communities. Now, I did have to reboot my system. We were going to talk construction, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. However, I still want to call for that QR code because that will take you directly to the KSAT traffic page. And of course, that will have the latest update updates on closures that are taking place in your area, and of course, anything that will be impacting your drive time, whether it's in the morning or maybe a little bit later on in the day. We will continue to keep you updated right there, so just scan that code and that will take you directly to the traffic page. Justin Horn.
Thank you, sir. Let's get you off to the bus stop this morning. Weather is really pretty nice right now. I just took a step outside. Feels great. Temperatures will be around 61 degrees this morning. And then as we head into the afternoon, temperatures close to 78 degrees, mostly cloudy. And we'll get some southeasterly winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. While I was outside, snapped this picture as you look east. Great shot this morning. Check it out. You can see the moon, Venus, and Jupiter. If you go outside right now and look off to the east, you can see it's really pretty beautiful. A lot of planets in alignment going on right now. But what we can see here, Venus and Jupiter, and the clouds have cleared out. So it's a cool shot. If you get a nice shot of it, send it into our KSAT Connect, and we'd love to share it with everyone else. What a beautiful morning. And as we go outside for you right now, 62 degrees at the airport, 64 Stinson, 61 Kelly, 60 at Randolph. And really light winds across the board. Temperatures 58 in Kerrville, 58 in Fredericksburg, 66 Uvalde, 69 in Cotulla. And then you've got some 50s for Bernie Stage, Comfort. Beauverde checking in at 58 right now. And dew points, well, they're not bad at the moment. We're sitting right at about 60, so that's right on the edge of muggy. But as we go through time here, we're going to get a good fetch off the Gulf of Mexico, and that's going to start to bring our dew points up even more in the coming days. So we'll get more humid, and we may have to start talking about heat index values, unfortunately, by the time we get into the weekend. Satellite picture shows we've got cloud cover off to the west. Some of that is trying to work towards San Antonio. But as I mentioned, at the moment, we've got fairly clear skies. We'll see if these clouds fill in a little bit more through mid-morning into midday. We'll call for a mostly cloudy day, and with some clouds around, that should keep temperatures in check. We're thinking high temperatures right around 79 here in San Antonio, some 80s in places like Castroville, Somerset, and then you'll find lower 70s, Fair Oaks Ranch up to Bernie with a high of only 71 there today. From here, we do warm up, though, pretty significantly. Let's look at the long-term forecast here. By tomorrow evening, definitely warmer. We'll see more sun on your Thursday. And then by Friday, it'll be almost downright hot. We do have a dry line off to the west, but this isn't going to really do much for us. It's this frontal boundary that sinks south. And by Saturday evening, that's when we could start to see some slightly better chances for rain. About a 20% chance. And it will all depend on how far south this boundary makes it. But if it gets close enough, it brings rain back into the picture, and we could see a few strong storms Saturday evening as well. Something to watch. You certainly don't need to cancel your plans Saturday, but we will have to keep an eye to the sky Saturday evening. 86 tomorrow, so there's your big warm-up. It gets windy, it gets humid. Friday, 89. 90 on Saturday, 89 Sunday. There's another small chance for some storms coming up on Monday, too. So more spring-like for sure. As we finish out the work week. But if you go outside right now, enjoy it. It is beautiful, guys.
Thank you, Justin. And coming up this morning on GMSA at 9, Katie's Science Lab is back on the road.
That's right. Katie and David will be out at St. John Bosco Catholic School on the west side to help teach students about the 3 states of matter.
And they're going to be doing that with a sweet treat, so stay tuned at 9 a.m. to check it out.
No matter who you are, being yourself can be tough when you have severe asthma. Triggers can pop up out of nowhere, causing inflammation that can lead to asthma attacks. But no matter what type of severe asthma you have, Tespire can help. Tespire is a new add-on treatment for people 12 and over that proactively reduces inflammation, which means you could have fewer attacks, breathe better, and relieve your asthma symptoms. So you can be you, whoever you are. Tespire is not a rescue medication. Don't take Tespire if you're allergic to it. Allergic reactions like rash or an eye allergy can happen. Don't stop your asthma treatments unless your doctor tells you to. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection or your asthma worsens. Sore throat, joint, and back pain may occur. Avoid live vaccines. By helping control your asthma, Tespire can help you be you, no matter who you are. Ask your asthma specialist about Tespire today.
And welcome back at 6:23. The dramatic defamation trial between actor Johnny Depp and his ex-wife Amber Heard continues as Amber Heard prepares to take the stand. ABC's Janae Norman has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, dramatic new testimony in Johnny Depp's defamation trial against his ex-wife, Amber Heard. On Tuesday, a psychologist taking the stand, testifying that Heard suffers from borderline personality disorder, a condition driven by an underlying fear of abandonment, and histrionic personality disorder, a condition she says is associated with drama and shallowness.
She had a very sophisticated way of minimizing any personal problems.
Heard now preparing to tell her side of the story after 58-year-old Depp took the stand.
These personal details of this toxic relationship, trials are about the truth. And right now, the defense has had some very difficult days.
And we'll have much more on the trial, plus live legal analysis from Dan Abrams coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Janae Norman, ABC News, New York.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Tomorrow night is draft night in the NFL. You can watch it live right here on KSAT 12 and ABC. The Texans have tons of picks to use in the draft, including the 3rd and 13th overall selections. Meanwhile, the Cowboys will be selecting 24th overall. Starts at 7 o'clock tomorrow night right here on KSAT.
And time now, 6:24 and 61 degrees for now.
Still ahead on GMSA, the war in Eastern Europe taking a new turn overnight. Russia using its most essential export as leverage against 2 countries. We'll explain.
And we're going to have the very latest on an overnight shooting on San Antonio's west side. Several people shot while shooting a music video. The details ahead.
I'm checking TransGuide right now. 410 in Callahan. Traffic is moving. Sun is starting to come up there in the eastern horizon at 410 and Northwest Military. We'll talk to Stephen and Justin coming up.
Gunshots bring the sound of music to a halt here at this Northwest Side Barbershop. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. Police tell us that someone took shot at people involved in the making of a music video. I'll tell you more about it.
Good morning, I'm Jonathan Cotto. A man is shot while walking home. We'll tell you what we know coming up on GMSA.
And outside with live cam, the clouds are starting to break a bit. Just a hint of a sunrise there on your screen. Good morning, everybody. We've made it to Wednesday. It is the 27th. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for joining us today. It looks beautiful out there.
Yeah, not bad. Still a bit on the cool side. Justin is here and he says things are about to start a warming trend.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't ask me about the date. I was about to start looking at my phone real quick.
My tablet logged out and that's my default. So.
Mine still has it here.
Thank you.
Yes, the 27th. and the sun will be up here in about 25 minutes or so officially. But it is a great morning. I told you earlier, if you look east, you can see the moon, Venus, and Jupiter out there, which is a cool view. But we are starting to see the clouds break up a little bit. I still think we'll see some clouds throughout the day. So we're going to call it mostly cloudy on your Wednesday and warmer. Thursday and Friday, heat, humidity, wind return to the forecast. And by the weekend, there's an outside chance for a storm, maybe a strong storm Saturday evening. At this point, though, rain chances are still on the low end. Temperatures are really comfortable. If you're going out for the morning run, feels great. 58 Kerrville, 59 Fredericksburg, 62 here in San Antonio, 58 Boulevardy, 60 in New Braunfels. And we should make it into the 70s a little bit later today. We'll call it partly cloudy to mostly cloudy. Some clouds may spread in around midday, 73 noontime, 75 by 1 p.m. And then we top out in the upper 70s later this afternoon. Southeasterly winds start to kick in 5 to 15 miles per hour. We'll talk about some of those changes over the weekend and how warm will we go. That 7-day forecast is coming up in just a few minutes. But Stephen, it's prime time for that morning commute. How's it look?
Yeah. Check out the shot from TransGuide. US 90 at Couples. It's looking pretty nice out there. Right now, vehicles and traffic is moving just at the way we expected. It has been calm, but the question is for how long? We are seeing some nice roads in this shot at TransGuide. However, that is back here in town. We are taking a look at I-10 eastbound at Proband. A crash has been picked up there. I've not seen any slowdowns in those directions of I-10, but an area you definitely want to drive carefully in. And you can see as we get that wide look at the map, we are seeing some stalls out there. These stalls have been popping up and clearing out, so just remember to check those vehicles before you get out on the roadway and pack your patience because we are seeing some slowdowns. 281 from Boulevardy right now, a 30-minute drive time. So just again, pack that patience this morning. That will be your friend. But elsewhere, we're looking good. So no need to rush out the door, but we always want you to give yourself plenty of time. Let's get one last look at TransGuide. A nice shot here at US 90 at Couples. We'll see how things change as the morning does go on. Mark, Stephanie.
Stephen, thank you. The sound of gunfire drowned out the sound of music inside a Northwest Side Barbershop. San Antonio police say someone in a car fired at a crowd making a music video there.
Katrina Weber is live on Wurzbach Road near Ingram Road. And Katrina, we can see some remnants of that shooting just behind you. And it looks like that window took a big hit.
Well, yeah, there's a very large bullet hole in this window right in the middle of all that shattered glass. You can see where the bullets went right into the barbershop. Meanwhile, there are as many as four people who suffered gunshot wounds, 3 of them in the hospital, according to police. They tell us that as many as 4 in all were shot here this morning. A 5th person also may have been hurt while trying to run away. All of those people were among the crowd here, according to police. They were making a music video at this barbershop when someone sprayed it with gunfire. This happened after 2 this morning. The police say 2 people were shot in their legs. 1 was hit in the head, and another was grazed in the head and leg. 3 of them went to a hospital either by ambulance or private car. The 4th person, according to police, did not go at all. Officers told us that they don't know the motive for the shooting at this time. They also have no idea who pulled the trigger, so they have not found that shooter yet. But they say they do plan to look at surveillance video from the strip mall, hopefully for clues. Reporting live on the Northwest Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Katrina. New this morning, San Antonio police investigating the scene of a shooting in a neighborhood on the city's southeast side for several hours.
That's right. Jonathan Kota joins us live with the latest. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Mark. That's right. It's been a busy morning for San Antonio, who have just cleared that scene about an hour ago. We know that a man was taken to BAMC. He was found with multiple gunshot wounds, and police tell us he's being uncooperative with them. But let's take a look at what that scene looked like earlier this morning. We know San Antonio police responded to the 2900 block of Anza in Quig. This is between 37 and Pecan Valley Drive near South New Braunfels Avenue. All this happening close to 2:30 this morning. Now, police say the victim told them he was walking home when someone opened fire at him and says the shooting happened in the street. But police discovered a trail of shell casings leading back to a courtyard of an apartment complex. They say the victim is a man in his 40s. He was shot in each arm and on the foot. And again, he was taken to the hospital and is said to be in stable condition. Now, of course, this case remains under investigation. We'll update you as more information is made available. Reporting live from Public Safety Headquarters, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. An overnight shooting incident at Haven for Hope, just northwest of downtown, ended with 3 people in the hospital. Police say a man was beating on the doors of the shelter last night around 10 o'clock. 2 security guards tried to restrain him. And that's when the suspect was apparently able to grab one of the security officers' gun. As the 3 struggled over the weapon, shots were fired. The officers were each hit in the leg. One of the guards was able to return fire, hitting the suspect 3 times. The 2 guards and the suspect are in the hospital this morning. All 3 are expected to recover.
Big news overnight on the ongoing conflict in Eastern Europe. Russia opening up a new front in its war over Ukraine on Wednesday, deciding to shut off gas to Poland and Bulgaria, 2 European Union nations that back Kyiv. It's a dramatic escalation in a conflict that is increasingly becoming a wider battle. One day after the U.S. and other Western allies vowed to give better military supplies to Ukraine, the Kremlin upped the ante, using its most essential export as leverage. European gas prices shot up on the news, which the European Union Commission's president called an attempt at blackmail.
In upstate New York, 2 people are dead following a medical helicopter crash. Happened Tuesday afternoon in the town of Elba, east of Buffalo. That Mercy flight chopper was doing some training when it went down. They took off from the Batavia airport about 5 miles south of the crash site. The 2 people killed were the only ones on board. The cause of that crash is under investigation.
Both the courts and Congress are expected to take action on the fate of Title 42 this week. It allows the expulsions at the border based on public health concerns from the COVID-19 pandemic. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is testifying today and tomorrow before House committees. A federal judge in Louisiana is temporarily restraining the White House from its plan to lift the measure May 23rd. The White House says President Joe Biden is challenging lawmakers to come up for comprehensive immigration reform. A hearing on that is set for May 10th.
Well, back here at home, change on the way for the San Antonio Police Department. The majority of officers on the force voted to ratify the union contract.
Sarah Costa joins us live in the studio with the latest on that story and some of the other big stories that are impacting the Alamo City. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Stephanie. Yeah, there's a lot to cover, so let's start with those changes to the police union contract. They would make it harder for fired officers to get their jobs back if they appeal. So the contract would also boost officers' pay by nearly 16% over 4 years. The deal would run through September of 2026, but before the contract goes into effect, City Council needs to approve it. One local group wants to see additional reforms like changing oversight for the department. Now the latest on the city's plans to deal with noise complaints. A 6-month pilot program to help find a solution just wrapped up with more than 8,400 calls for complaints. They were all received on weekend nights from Thursday to Sunday, but there were only 155 citations that were actually handed out. So the city hired a firm to investigate those noise complaints. Sound Music City found businesses lack education on how music travels. Apologize for that. And the city's task force will come back with a presentation in about a month, but won't likely have any recommendations to present just yet. So if you have any noise complaints, SAPD is now answering those calls, and the task force will be taking a look at the data. Mayor Ron Nirenberg made his State of the City address yesterday. He focused on recovering from the pandemic and highlighted the SA Ready to Work program. The $200 million program launches next month. The goal is to get more than 15,000 San Antonians through certification and degree programs and into high-demand jobs. These are just some of the big stories we are following this morning. You can read the latest on our website. Just head to KSAT.com and look for them on the homepage. Mark and Stephanie.
A new mission to space making history this morning.
It's all because of the astronaut who's on board.
Here's ABC's Derek Dennis.
This morning, a history-making mission to space.
Liftoff. Go Falcon. Let freedom ring. Godspeed, Crew 4.
3 American astronauts and 1 European cruising at 17,500 miles per hour to the International Space Station. One of the NASA astronauts is 33-year-old Jessica Watkins, who will become the first black woman to live on the space station for a long-term mission. She'll also become the first black woman to perform a spacewalk.
I think part of it is really just kind of the logistics of timing, but I also think that maybe it is reflective or indicative of maybe a more systemic kind of issue that we are seeing in our country where there's a bit of a pipeline problem, if you will.
Watkins, a geologist, joined NASA's astronaut program in 2017. She previously worked with the team that developed the Mars Curiosity rover. Now Watkins and her team will work on more than 200 experiments on the space station, including new so-called smart shirts that measure your vital signs in zero gravity. The Colorado native says she hopes her time in space will inspire more young people here on Earth.
There's room to invest more in kind of youth education and getting young girls and young people of color involved at an earlier age, and then providing them the support and resources to kind of continue along that path and pursue careers in STEM.
Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Time right now, 6:40, about 60 degrees.
Conversations about racism can be difficult and polarizing. Just ahead, what can be done to promote healing?
6:43, institutional racism, diversity and inclusion, and critical race theory are all terms that have been thrown into the spotlight since May of 2020. After that 9-minute, 29-second video showed a police officer kneeling on the neck of George Floyd.
Polarizing conversations surrounding race grew after that incident. Now an organization that has been having that conversation for more than 3 decades sheds some light on how we can discuss race more effectively.
Ursula Perry has the details.
It's one of those conversations, even though you recognize that.
How long y'all gotta hold him down?
You don't want to have that conversation. So you find ways to not to.
Sherry Stedwinder has been having conversations about race for more than 30 years. It all started when she and a group of multi-ethnic friends would meet and then have open conversations about racism around the kitchen table.
To be totally transparent was creating something within us. Maybe we could call it healing.
the Center for the Healing of Racism was born. The center holds workshops for groups of all races to have an educational dialogue when they confront stereotypes, discuss issues of racism and its repercussions, and racial conditioning. Steinwinder believes talking is how understanding racism begins.
When we don't talk about anything, we don't know anything. Getting sick with this disease of racism wasn't your fault, but getting well is your responsibility.
Those who take part of the workshop learn techniques on how to talk about racism.
Would you be interested in sitting down with me and talking about our racial conditioning? That's a very different question and a very different opening and I don't like what you just said.
Starting that conversation can reveal.
We may look different in hues and have some different features, but we have at least 98-point DNA in common.
Steinwinder believes that parents should start talking to children about race early on. In fact, she gives workshops for children as young as pre-kindergarten, and she uses a simple prop, bread. Because bread comes from all sorts of different cultures. It has different colors and shapes and tastes and textures. But she teaches in the end, it is, after all, just bread. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
6:46.
And it looks like things are slowing down big time at I-10 East and Loop 410. Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos.
That's right. It's just an area where we have a stall that's been picked up there. But as we get that look around town, 35 at Alamo, things look quiet, and it does look pretty normal from this shot. Not sure exactly why TransGuide doesn't have that label, but you can see 37 at Jones Avenue. It is a quiet morning. But let's go ahead and take you to the map because it's not looking good here off of I-10 eastbound at Probant. We do have a crash that's been picked up in that area. Thankfully, those eastbound lanes aren't experiencing a slowdown just yet. But let's take a drive over here to I-10 eastbound at Roland Avenue. We see a slight slowdown due to a stall. Not sure exactly how long that will be there, but hopefully it will be cleared out pretty soon. One last drive, Loop 410 southbound at I-10. We do have another stall, but really seeing that slowdown in the northbound lanes. Let's get that wide look at the map. 646. Things look great, but we are seeing the usual congestion. 1604 over on the northwest side. And again, a little bit of a congestion there off of 410 as well as State Highway 151. Of course, drive safe this morning. Things look quiet, but we'll continue to watch the roads closely. Make sure that you do the same.
Thank you, Stephen. Sunday is already May 1st.
Wow.
Oh, it's going to be quick.
Oof, hard to believe. And if you're like me, I'm not blaming my kids, but I lose track of time. So I need a little reminder here. Let's look at how many days until Mother's Day. It's right around the corner, 11 days away. So be prepared for that. Memorial Day is just 33 days away. Summer begins in just 55 days, so we're getting right into the thick of spring here. And the 4th of July, 68 days away. Hard to believe, but we're getting a little bit closer to those hotter months, and temperatures are certainly going to start warming up. Another reminder, maybe it's time to mow. I know my grass is nice and green. I'll tell you today, we're going to put it in the fair category only because the grass may still be a little bit damp, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday looks good if you want to get out and work in the yard. Temperature is going to warm up. That grass will dry out a little bit. Outside, we've got cloudy skies. Clouds have rolled in. 62 degrees. Dew point is at 59. Calm winds. And it's just been within the last really 15 or 20 minutes or so that we've seen the clouds roll in here around downtown. 58 Kerrville, 63 Hondo, 60 Pleasanton, 62 right now LaGrange. Very nice, comfortable temperatures. Comfort down to Bernie Stage where temperatures are in the mid 50s. 60s elsewhere here around Bexar County. And 64 over there in Kestrelville. There's like the satellite picture. And I think we're going to see some off and on clouds today. We've had some thicker clouds out west, and some of those are trying to drift into the San Antonio area. There will be some sun, but I think probably a little bit more cloud cover than sun as we get towards, say, midday. This model shows some clouds rolling through. Also shows a couple sprinkles. I wouldn't worry too much about that. If we do see anything, it'll be insignificant. And then by this afternoon, some off and on clouds here. We'll see more sun in the coming days and some warmer temperatures as a result. Dew points are also on the climb. They're fairly comfortable right now, but we'll see those dew points jump all the way up to close to 70 by the weekend. So then we have to start talking about the heat index. It'll be near 90. It'll feel hotter than that when you factor in that humidity. Here's our forecast for today, our 12-hour forecast, 67, 9 o'clock. We'll go 73 noontime, 75, 1 p.m., and then partly to mostly cloudy by 5 o'clock. 79. That'll be your high temperature today. Southeasterly winds kicking in anywhere from 5 to 15. Not overly windy today, but it will be windy next couple of days. Let's look down the line now. We've got warmer temperatures on Thursday, as we pointed out. On Friday, too, it'll be almost hot. We'll have a dry line just to our west. Doesn't do much for our forecast. Probably won't kick off any storms. But this front you see here, as it drops south, may help to create some showers and storms by Saturday evening. Right now we have a 20% chance in the forecast. It's all going to depend on how far south this boundary makes it. If it can make it into the hill country, that may be just close enough to get some storms going. If we do see some storms on Saturday, there's potential for them to become strong to severe. But it wouldn't cancel your Saturday plans. Just know this would happen during the evening hours, and chances in general are low. 86 Thursday, 89 Friday. There are those winds coming back into the forecast. 90 on Saturday, 89 Sunday, a warm weekend. Small chances for rain there on Saturday. Another chance shows up on Monday as well, guys.
Thank you, Justin. And toddlers can be picky. Tomorrow on GMSA, how to help your toddler reach for the broccoli instead of the mac and cheese.
Let's go outside with live cam. And before the clouds rolled back in, Justin got a really cool picture of both the moon, Jupiter, and Venus right over San Antonio. Well, not right over. I mean, they're out in space, but they're on his Facebook page. Look for meteorologist Justin Horn on Facebook.
From shooting a music video to being shot. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. That is how San Antonio police say things went for people who were shooting a music video at this Northwest Side Barbershop. Now they say that they are calling this a drive-by shooting, and again it left as many as 4 people with gunshot wounds. Now, police got the call just after 2 o'clock this morning. They told us as many as 4 people were shot in this shooting. The Barbershop on Wurzbach Road near Ingram Road was supposed to be the scene of a music video. Instead, it became a crime scene. Police say someone drove up, started shooting at the crowd. They say 1 person was hit in the head, 2 were shot in their legs, and a 4th person was grazed in the head and leg. At this point, investigators do not know the motive for the shooting. They don't know who that shooter was either. They tell us that all of the people who were shot should survive. But again, we can see remnants of that shooting here at the Barbershop, a big hole in the window from where the bullets hit. Reporting from the Northwest Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Time now, 6:55. Let's get a look at the roadways. I-10 at Pressa. Things look very quiet there, but we are seeing some problems that are being picked up. Let's take you right to the map. I-10 eastbound at Probant. Drive over here shows a slowdown. Loop 410 southbound at I-10. No need to rush, though, but expect some delays. 28 minutes coming in from 281 southbound on Bulverde to the downtown San Antonio area. Justin.
Thanks, Stephen. Clouds have rolled back in. We're sitting at 62 now. We'll be up around 67 by 9 o'clock into the 70s a little bit later today. We'll top out close to 80, partly to mostly cloudy skies, and southeasterly winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. We're up to 86 tomorrow, close to 90 on Friday. It will be a warm and humid weekend. Another small chance for some storms showing up Saturday evening, and that's the time frame when we could see maybe a strong storm or two. But at least chances in general are pretty low.
Before we go, we wish a happy birthday to KSAT 12's Erica Hernandez.
That's right. Happy birthday, Erica. Enjoy your day. I know she's probably up. She's got 2 little ones.
Yes, probably is. Happy birthday, Erica.
Yeah. Enjoy your day. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here at 9.
Good Morning America is next.